Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how I mix bass on our new CHARETTA track called On Top of the World, which will come out in February of 2025. And alright, so let's play the intro. I'll play the whole thing and then I'll show you what I'm doing with the bass track. Here we go. All right, cool. So here is my bass track. This is just basically a DI. It's called alt because I think we did an alternate take and we just kept that one. And when I'm tracking bass, I just track a DI. I don't track a bass amp. I don't run it through pedals like a Sans amp or something like that. I just try to capture the best DI that I can, and then I will mix it up later. So let's listen to what the DI sounds like and by itself. Here we go. Okay, so it's pretty dynamic here. First thing I want to do here is I want to add a compression. And I like to use the CLA 76. Okay, here we go. And then I use the bass plugin. I remove the analog, the 60 hertz noise that it adds. I pretty much leave it the way it is. And let's see how much of reduction this is doing. Okay, I did a before and after. I was bypassing it because I wanted to hear the levels, and they pretty much sounded the same. If they didn't, then I would mess around with the output so that when I bypass it, the level still stays the same. But it's hitting about 10 dB. I like that. I like where that's sitting. Okay. Then I use Parallax. I think everyone in the modern rock world is using this. Okay. And basically what this is doing, this is taking that bass track and breaking it up into 3 sections. You've probably seen some engineers take the bass track, duplicate the track, and then doing like a high pass and a low pass. Yeah, I'll show you real quick. So they would duplicate the track, and then what they would do is they would just capture like the low end. That would be one track. And then on the second track, they would kind of do like a cross around maybe 200 or 250 around there, and then they will manipulate. So they will control the low end, right? So let's do this again. So this low end, they'll compress the heck out of it to kind of like slam it so it just stays tight. There's no dynamics at all. And then on the other one, here they will maybe add a little bit of distortion, and then here they would do some EQ. So Parallax, that's what that's doing. As you can see the curves here. See? So here, okay, this is my low end, which is labeled here. Here is my mids, which is here. Okay, and there's my highs, which is here. And then each band you can manipulate here. Okay, so instead of breaking it up, I use this plugin. So I'm kind of doing the same thing they're doing, but I just use a plugin instead of just breaking all this up. All right, so what is going on here? I'm using a preset that I found. This was, I saw someone on the URM that they use this and they even call it Jacob 1. And I kind of duplicated it, and that's my starting point. And then I just go ahead and manipulate it and make and mix it so it can fit the song that I'm mixing it. But if you want to kind of copy my settings, okay, you can do that, and you can call it whatever you want, and then just save it. And let's see what's going on here. So in the lows, you can see that I'm compressing about 76, 80. I already added a compressor, so this is just compressing the low end right here. and my lows are kind of dipping around 200 hertz, right? I have, yeah, but here, see my low pass is at 175 actually. And then I can turn it on and off if I want to. Okay, so let me turn the mids, this, and I'm going to turn the EQ off also, just so we can hear what's going on. So you see that it's compressing it here, and then look at the meters over here. Actually, let me go to this view and let's look at the meters right here. Okay, and you can see that it's pretty much tamed. See how it's pretty much tamed here? The peak is like right there, and that's what this is doing. All right, let's go back over here. Let's look at what the mid is doing. And here, I'm not adding any distortion or drive. All right, but on the high end, I am adding a little bit of distortion and saturation here. Okay, let's listen to this. And then here I have an EQ. I could have used a EQ plugin, but I'll just use this one. And basically what I'm doing here, I'm just taking out some low end here, but it's very minimal. It's very subtle. So now if I were to bring everything in, it would sound like this. So it has that Sans amp kind of sound to it, which is cool. So let's do a before and after. Again, my bass, I keep it simple, and then when I'm mixing it, I kind of bring it up until it sits nicely with the kick, you know, with the drums, and then obviously with the whole mix. And then here I have an L2, and then again, this is just to tame it again. Okay, let's do it before and after. Now see, about three to four or so, just to tame it. But again, it's very simple. Okay, my bass is very simple. I don't try to overcomplicate it. When I found this Parallax plugin, I was like, yeah, this is basically what I want to do. And if let's listen to it with the drums, see how that sounds. What you're gonna notice over here, I have a send, and basically what this is a TrackSpacer, and what I'm doing is every time the kick hits, it ducks the bass about 3 dB. And here is my kick send. So what I'm doing a sidechain here. So I am sending this pre-fader, and then it's going over here. So I'm using the bus is, I called it side, and then I go over here and I find it side, and then you're gonna notice that every time the kick hits, it ducks the bass a little bit. Let's listen to it. And then everything together. Well, actually, let me bring you another important thing is obviously the bass is a big part of the guitar sound. So here are my guitar tracks. And with the bass and everything. And that's it. And that's how I mix bass. So if you have any questions or any comments, please leave them down below. I answer all of them. And until next time, happy mixing.